Guys, tonight's movie review is for the Power Rangers. A little bit about this movie. This is based on a kids' TV series from the 90s and 2000s named Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and its many iterations. And this story is an origin story, and it follows 5 kids that are from Angel Grove, and they're all in detention together. They don't really know each other very well. It's a very Breakfast Club kind of vibe at the beginning of the movie. And one of them, Billy, he gets one of the other guys to give him a ride out into this old quarry. And when they're at the quarry, Billy's kind of messing around doing something. He and his dad had spent a lot of time there when he was younger. And you could tell that he'd been working on trying to find something there. And he does. And he and all 5 kids actually end up being at the quarry, all for different reasons, but they all end up there at the time where the discovery is made of these power crystals. And basically, they wake up the next morning and they all have superpowers. And it's all connected to these crystals that they have, and they don't really know what's going on, but they know that, they woke up and all of a sudden they're like superheroes. And so they meet back at the quarry, and when they do that, they find a spaceship that basically explains everything about these crystals and the fact that there's this person named Rita Repulsa who used to be a Power Ranger, but she kind of got power hungry and wants to unleash this monster that's basically going to destroy the planet. And it's up to these 5 people to become the Power Rangers, to realize their power kind of together to get the suits and everything they need to be able to fight against Rita. It's basically what this movie's about. And it's whether they're going to be able to pull that off, whether they're going to be able to band together, realize the potential of their powers, and beat the bad guy. So, like I said, this is an origin movie, and the story itself is okay. I mean, it's slow. There's a lot of developing who the different characters are, developing what's going on, setting up why they have to fight Rita and how they are going to become the Power Rangers. And I'm just going to say, without giving too much away, that it takes a long time to get to the action in this film. A lot of this movie is set up, whether that be good or bad. Now, I myself didn't watch the Power Rangers growing up, so I went into it not really having any preconceived notions about what I thought, other than the couple things I knew. My cousins were big fans, other friends I had, so I knew a little bit, but not too much. And one thing, the writing in this movie, it's kind of cheesy, really cheesy at times, but I believe that the show itself was too, so that didn't bother me too much, because where there were serious scenes, I'm actually glad that the movie as a whole didn't take itself too seriously, because there have been a lot of comic book movies, for example, and some other movies like this where it takes itself too seriously and it loses some of the magic of what the actual story is. So that didn't bother me too much, although there were some points where the dialogue was pretty cringeworthy. Now, as far as the acting, I thought the Power Rangers themselves were okay. They had better moments and worse moments acting-wise. I'd say the standout was Billy, who played the Blue Ranger. He really provided almost all of the comic relief in this movie, and also, I mean, a lot of his emotions and his kind of evolution of his character seemed very heartfelt and genuine, and so I would say he was the standout for me out of the 5. They weren't terrible, but they definitely weren't the greatest, and a few of them looked really old, but what else is new? I mean, people who look way outside of high school play high schoolers all the time. Elizabeth Banks was another standout as Rita Repulsa. She really like dug in and wasn't afraid to embarrass herself or anything. She's been in other roles like that where she just throws herself into it, like in the Hunger Games. She's not afraid to embarrass herself. She gave it her all for what this character was and what she could do with it, and so I think she did really well as well. And the special effects I thought were pretty good. They weren't too over the top. And I think part of that had to do with the fact that the suits were real and not CGI. And I think that added a lot to it. You could really, I mean, of course there was CGI aspects to it, but when the characters were in the suits, they were really in the suits. And so I think that brought a little bit of reality that was cool to also match some of the CGI stuff that was going on. So overall, I think that it is an okay movie. It's not great. It was more fun than I thought it would be, to be quite honest. But not the greatest. I would give it a B minus. And as far as who I would recommend to see it, that's a little tricky. Really, I think, you know, if you are a Power Rangers fan, whether you end up loving or hating this, like, you're gonna want to see it, of course, to see what they did or how they skewered your childhood favorite TV show. And then I'd say like older children, I don't know that younger children would really like it just because there was so much build up and story development that it might be a little too boring for them. But older children, I think, could enjoy this and would enjoy the payoff of the action at the end. But other than that, I don't really know, unless it's just kind of, you don't have anything else to see. I think other than those people, this wouldn't really be a movie to see in the theater. It would be more something to watch on like a Redbox or when it comes on HBO. Like I said, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's okay. It's slightly better than okay. So I'd give it a B minus. That's all I got for tonight. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you like this review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much. Bye.